possible for the time we have together this afternoon. You've entered a digital hotel ballroom with 2 floors. Each floor has scattered cocktail tables, and each table has chairs for 6 people. Double-click on an empty chair, and you will join that table with 5 other people with whom you can network, get to know, chat. To make the most of the experience, please make sure you move from table to table and from floor to floor to network with as many other attendees as you can. Also, be sure your camera and microphone are on so you can fully participate. Now, our celebration today will be in 3 parts. In a few minutes, after my remarks from this main stage, we will invite you to engage with others, and then we will return to the main stage for a program. We will end the afternoon by allowing you to continue to network with each other and to share your memories and thoughts about Karyn. On behalf of Karyn's husband, Ron, her sons, Diego and Adrian, her mother, Virginia, and her brother, Scott, thank you for joining us. You are here because your love and respect for Karyn, and because Karyn held you dear. When Karyn first received her diagnosis, or as she referred to it, her predicament, she vowed to fight like hell, and that's exactly what she did. We are so grateful to her family who were at her side throughout this unexpected and painful journey, and to her dear friends who supported and cared for her as well, Rosana and Mundo Hidalgo, Gemma and Paul Luna. Most of all, we are in awe and gratitude for the selfless care, honor, and love that her husband Ron gave of himself. How much he meant to Karyn is best stated in Karyn's own words. In a January message to her team at the NALEO Educational Fund, Karyn wrote the following: I also want all to know that Ron has since the diagnosis, each day since, at my bedside. He has been my spirit champion, compelling me to fight. He has been the gold standard in what it means to be the spouse and the best friend of your life, overseeing every detail, including combing my now 16-day-old hair, moisturizing and ensuring tranquility, removing all negative energy so I can thrive. I am blessed to have him. Gives new meaning to Iron Man Ron. Thank you, Ron, and thank you for being here today. Now, from the moment that I was hired as Executive Director of NALEO Educational Fund, Karyn made it clear that she was going to join me in this adventure. And whether we were across a work table or 400 miles across the Southwest desert from each other, we shared a connection that I can only describe as singular and at times even uncanny. She mastered the craft of fund development and capacity building, becoming one of the nation's most respected and admired fundraising professionals in the Latino nonprofit sector. Her touch earned NALEO a reputation for exquisite taste, attention to detail, and efficiency. She mentored and nurtured scores of professionals. Her standards of excellence, integrity, loyalty, and professionalism were rivaled only by her sense of style, her superb taste, and her personal beauty. Karyn loved NALEO and NALEO Educational Fund, and most of all, the passion of its people, who with her labored every day for a more perfect democracy. Today, NALEO is a thriving, impactful, and leading institution that defends and strengthens our nation's democracy because of Karyn's leadership, vision, and tenacity. We are gathered to celebrate a life so well lived, so impactful, and so beautiful. For the next segment of our event, we invite you to spend time with one another at the different tables in celebration of Karyn. Please get to know each other and how Karyn touched our lives, and share your memories, your laughter, and your tears. We also invite you to briefly pay your personal respects to Karyn's husband, her mother, son, and brother. They are seated at the lounge-type tables reserved for Karyn's family, located at the far right side of your screen on floor 1. We ask that after briefly doing so, you continue to make the rounds to the different tables so that others too can visit with Karyn's family. Now, please enjoy each other's company, sharing your personal stories about Karyn, and I will be back on this main stage shortly for the second part of our program. Oh, it was so good to see some old friends there. I saw NALEO's second national president, Raymond Sanchez, from New Mexico. He was NALEO's vice president when Karyn and I started here at NALEO Educational Fund. Other board members from the early days, like Art Reese, and close friends from Maldiv, like Teresa Fe Bustillos. Former colleagues like Sofia Gomez. It's so great seeing all of you. Thank you for joining us today. And I hope you've been able to figure out this platform. Again, you're at a table with up to 5 other people. If you want a table hop, just go to that map and double click on a blue chair without any initial or photo. That's an empty chair, and you can join that table. And we're going to have another networking session towards the end of this event so that you can interact with more people. You know, today is May 20th, and we chose today to celebrate Karyn's life because her birthday will be May 23rd, on Sunday. She and I are the same age. We were both born in 1962, so I just gave it away what our age is, what her age would have been and what I will turn in a few months. Well, I hope you enjoyed the opportunity to visit with each other and to share memories of Karyn. And again, we're going to give you an opportunity to continue doing that in a few minutes. Now, in an attempt to capture what Karyn meant to us and to NALEO, we produced a brief video featuring Karyn's mother and husband and several friends of NALEO, who beyond the professional connection, joined her circle of personal friends. We hope this presentation will do some justice to all that Karyn meant to us. Please enjoy.
She was my love. She was my pride. She was my joy. She was confident and very accomplished.
Being her husband for 30 years, first thing I think of when I think of Karyn is, my best friend. We were married for 30 years, dated for 5, and we're good friends prior to that. So over that transition, Karyn and I became really close partners and friends, both personally and working. We became each other's support or mentor in a sense.
Karyn, Piña, wow. I mean, it's on the one hand, what a pleasure to work with. She was always so kind and polite and thoughtful, just a sort of a warm, comforting personality. But that was a little deceptive because she was all about business, right? The work needed to get done, and it needed to get done well.
I would describe Karyn as an incredible bon vivant. She was always full of energy and enthusiasm, and with just the right amount of mischievous nature to her to make things fun and interesting. You always knew you were in for a great time when you were with Karyn.
You know, aside from Karyn being a mother and a wife, she was a sophisticated lady. She was just a professional. She was social, cheerful, very sincere. And you know what? She made you feel comfortable. You felt like she cared for you.
Truly a kind person, a caring person, and just someone that is easy to be friends with.
She and, of course, our CEO, Arturo Vargas, they were really good friends, but they worked really, really well together. Seamless. They finished each other's sentences, if you will.
The NALEO Educational Fund would not be the successful institution it is today had it not been for Karyn's work over the years and in her position as Chief Strategy Officer. Her success in bringing in the resources and building the partnerships are why NALEO is successful and why our mission has advanced.
And she loved what she was doing. She had a sincere commitment and loyalty to the community, to NALEO, and considered NALEO her family.
I think Karyn is maybe an unsung hero of moving the Latino community forward because, NALEO wouldn't be where it is today in terms of stature and respect without the tremendous work of Karyn for so many years.
If you wanted to get anywhere in that organization, you first had to approach Karyn and convince her that you had a good idea and that it was mutually beneficial.
In general, there's Karyn's first true love is her two boys, and then second is NALEO. She has an extremely deep passion for NALEO, working for NALEO and working with Arturo and her entire staff, or the entire staff of NALEO, over past 20 years.
Karyn's passion for her work was always evident in everything she did.
Karyn was very good at her job and very professional. She could be all official, business attire, but also let her hair down. We started as business associates and became friends. And so I will miss her dearly.
Again, thank you, Karyn, for all you've done for NALEO. Thank you for being a good friend and a great mentor.
In many ways, Karyn was my soulmate. She was my work wife. She was at my side and I was at her side throughout this entire adventure that we had at MALDEF and at NALEO, and I miss her terribly.
To those of you who know Karyn and I, you know that she and I thought of each other as sisters. And I truly mean that in every sense of the word.
I was very blessed that she was my daughter.
Gracias, Karyn. You shall live with me forever.
Gracias, Karyn.
Gracias, Karyn.
Gracias, Karyn. We love you.
Gracias, Karyn.
Gracias, Karyn.
Gracias, Karyn.
Gracias, mija.
Wow. Thank you to Chris Olivares, Production for the People, for his wonderful talent in creating that tribute. Now, I wish we could have included all of you in a similar tribute to Karyn. The best way to do so is to invite you to please visit the digital memory book so that you can share your own thoughts and memories and celebrate her life. You can access the digital memory book through the link that is in the chat. There is also a Spotify playlist of Karyn's favorite songs in the chat, which we hope you will enjoy, dance to, and Karyn's son mentioned, will there be Earth, Wind, and Fire? Oh, you bet there'll be Earth, Wind, and Fire as part of that playlist. We also will send everybody who joined us today a thank you email in a couple of days with links to the memory book and to the Spotify playlist. When Karyn passed, her family asked that donations be in her name be made to the NALEO Educational Fund. Now, she was particularly active in the Hispanic Student Business Association at Arizona State University. In fact, that's where she met her husband, Ron. Over the years, she mentored subsequent generations of students through her participation in the Hispanic Business Alumni. Now, as we considered how to create a lasting and impactful legacy for her, NALEO Educational Fund has decided to devote these donations to establish a scholarship fund in her name in perpetuity at her beloved alma mater, ASU. I invite you to join this effort by making a donation to NALEO Educational Fund in her memory, which will go towards the scholarship fund. The information on how to donate is in the chat, and we will also include it in the follow-up email that we will send in a few days. Thank you for your generosity and support of future generations of Latino leaders and to continue Karyn's legacy. One final thought. You may have noticed that I did a wardrobe change. Well, this is the last gift that I received from Karyn and Ron on the occasion of my birthday. Karyn had a fondness for Tommy Bahama shirts, and she knew well what my favorite color is. Now, our final segment this afternoon will be an opportunity for you to continue to share with each other. Please take full advantage of visiting the different tables. I know there are scores of people with us today that you may not have seen in years. I know that's been true for me already in that first networking segment we had. But we thought that the best celebration for Karyn today would be the opportunity for us to share our memories, to share our laughter, to share our tears, to share stories about Karyn, and to spend some good time together. Now, on behalf of Karyn's family, the entire NALEO family, our boards of directors, and the amazing NALEO Educational Fund staff, and all of our supporters, thank you for joining us in this celebration of Karyn Piña. Que viva Karyn Piña!